Part 3 of the rise and fall of Elizabeth Holmes. So in 2015, after investing $350 million into Theranos, after the bombshell Wall Street Journal article that brought question to Theranos, Safeway pulled out of a relationship with Theranos. Mind you, this is after putting $350 million into Theranos, building clinics, building sites for this testing to happen. So obviously Safeway, even though they put in a major investment, knew something was fishy. And in January of 2016, things got worse. The Center for Medicaid and Medicare Services sent Theranos a letter saying they had 10 days to fix their problems because the labs had failed to comply with federal standards. And they said that the patients that had gone through Theranos testing were in immediate jeopardy. And in response to this letter, Walgreens completely pulled Theranos, stopped the Palo Alto lab. It was done. So in March of 2016, CMS threatened to ban these two, Balwani and Holmes, from operating any sort of lab setting for 2 years. Theranos said was a worst case scenario because they failed to fix the problems that they were having. And then in May of 2016, Balwani stepped down and they tried to shake up the board of directors. But right after this, they had to void 2 years of lab results, meaning that tens of thousands of people who got their blood work done with Theranos had falsely reported blood work. So people were getting their tests back and thinking they had leukemia and really crazy, awful health problems, but really it was faulty testing. And then in June of 2016, the boss babe, whose net worth was once valued at $4.5 billion, she was touted as the next Steve Jobs, was revised by Forbes to a net worth of a big old goose egg, 0. And the company's valuation went from being $9 billion to $800 million, which it still seems like a lot of money, but that's a huge, huge drop. And Walgreens, who was once Theranos' biggest client, dissolved the partnership and closed all 40 Theranos wellness centers. And finally, in June of 2016, Elizabeth Holmes was banned from running any sort of lab for 2 years. Now, the CMS sanctions didn't restrict development of the machinery or sales of the machinery. So in August of 2016, Elizabeth, who wouldn't stop, said that she was going to now sell the machinery in a mini lab situation. And October 2016 and November 2016 were not good months because that's when people started to sue Theranos. First lawsuit was for $96.1 million plus damages. And then Walgreens sought out to recover $140 million from Theranos. And part 3 will go into the fraud charges. Stay tuned.